Boys and girls, how y'all doing today? It is Big Mark, and I am back. Hold on. And I am back, as I was saying. I tried to do this shit earlier, but I didn't know how to do the thing with the PlayStation. My brother had to show me, and I know. I'm gonna give somebody some real quick tips, right? That's screen time. Okay, so I'm gonna tell y'all guys something, right? I have a 60 hertz, so-called 60 hertz LG television. It is the UN or UM 7000, right? If you set your PlayStation to 1080p, PS5 to performance mode, right? The resolution of the TV will drop Call of Duty down to 1080p. Even the game will run at 120 hertz, even on the 60 hertz panel. Here's why I'm telling you guys this before I get into why E3 is dead. But you cannot have a 2016 4K television. You can't have a 2017. It has to be 2020 or 2019 or better. I can't say better because we're still in 2021. And this is a 2020 model. Okay. So this television right now, if I had a counter, it is currently running Call of Duty in performance mode at 120 frames a second. And it's only a 60 hertz panel. Yet and still, it's not running at 4K 60. It's running at 120 1080p. Any 4K television can run at 120 hertz as long as you can set the hertz of whatever you're watching to 1080p, and it will run it automatically by default in 120. Now, earlier I was going on about how E3 was dead, so I'm having to go over this bull crap again. So let's talk about it. All right. This past weekend, we had E3 for Microsoft, Ubisoft, Capcom. I don't think E3, EA did it. Oh, yeah, they had Battlefield at Microsoft conference, which probably was a smart thing. Nintendo. Now, let me say this. Anybody telling you that E3 this past year was good, they're a goddamn lie. It was trash. Now, let's start with the two heavy hitters on the thing, and then we'll go to the little guys, because third parties are the little guys in this whole thing. And I will tell you why, if you're a Square Enix and a Capcom fan, why you should be very excited for Sony's event that's coming up next month. Okay? So, let's go to the big two, and then we'll go down, and I'll tell you why you should be excited for the other ones afterwards. First, Microsoft. So Microsoft had their E3 conference. And to me, it started off with Starfield, which was CGI. I am not finna be a, what you call, a fake nigga and say, oh, it's just CGI. No, they showed something. It looked good to me. I like open world RPGs, and I'm a big fan of that, right? Then after Starfield, which I will also elaborate a little later once I get through Microsoft's thing, after they showed Starfield, they showed a lot of stuff that I don't care about. They showed a lot of indies I don't care about. That's just me. I cannot speak for other people and what other people may like. But me personally, I'm not an indie fan. So they also had that vampire game at the end, the co-op. I don't play no shit like that. I don't. No. Sorry. Then it went on to show a racing game. If it was a Midnight Club, I would like it, but I really don't care for Forza Horizon or the other one. It's just not my cup of tea. I don't give a fuck about that. And then we moved on to what we say is Battlefield. Looks good, but I'm a Call of Duty guy more than Battlefield by a ton. And I will be playing Battlefield with Swagger and Sharon. But Call of Duty is going to be my main game. Make no mistake. You know what I'm saying? my heart and soul is in that game. So when I get my, the games I'm gonna buy this fall, which will be a few. So I will talk about that when I get to the little guys too, the games I'm gonna buy this fall. Anyway, Microsoft conference was a 6 or a 5 out of 10, in my opinion. Now, I'm not here to tell any other person what to play or what to buy. You buy and play what you want. And at the end of the day, it's your money. It is your cup of tea, what you do with your dollars. So for me personally, I cannot say anything when it comes to that. Me personally, I don't want an Xbox. And it doesn't matter what they have, and I'm consistent in that notion. I am a Sony pony to the heart. Stallion, unicorn, whatever you want to call it. See, man, this motherfucker came from one way to the other way. Come on, man. Come on. Anyway, I just appreciate that, they had themselves a conference and people liked it. Then later in the week, on Thursday, which was yesterday, they had another conference to show shit off again with a whole bunch of talking. And that's one thing Microsoft sure can do. They sure like to talk a lot when they say it's absolutely nothing, in my opinion. So, certain people enjoyed this with Paris, which I think he is a corporate slave, in my opinion. But it's okay, though. You're allowed to love what you want to love,
We're losing the advantage.
Personally. So I don't make no qualms about people liking Xbox or liking what they have to offer. I said this to a lot of PlayStation people on Twitter that you should leave Microsoft alone about having Starfield. They want Starfield to be exclusive to that console. Good. Let them have it. Jesus. You're supposed to be a PlayStation guy. You up here worried about Starfield. It's just hurts my head when I hear that. But that's just me.
Enemy spy plane inbound.
Now we move on. We move on to the next thing on the ledger, which is Nintendo. Truth be told, I don't care about Nintendo one way, shape, form, or another, because their games have never appealed to me beyond a certain level. And that level is when I was a child. Now, I know some people love Nintendo. They love their games. And that's fine. It's just not for me. I'm a grown-ass man with an active sex life. And I can play Ratchet and Clank, Rift Apart. I really like that game. But they talk, at least. Nintendo games don't talk. People often say they're going for the nostalgia. Or whatever that bullshit is they call it. But I don't believe that. I think the problem for Nintendo is, in the future, is they have the same problem that Microsoft has. They are in a loop when it comes to games, and one thing I appreciate about PlayStation is all about what's new. The next great franchise. Though they do dip their toes back into Final Fantasy, which I love, and they basically made it a brand new story. The remake is an excellent game, in my opinion. So, Nintendo's conference to me was a 2 out of 10. Some people liked it. I didn't care for it. I don't care for Nintendo. Now let's move to the third-party guys. That is Ubisoft, that is Capcom, and that is Square Enix. They basically show nothing. Nothing they showed appealed to me. Nothing. And that's saying a lot for me, who is basically a big Capcom and Ubisoft fan. I'm not a Monster Hunter guy. Don't like that game. I'm a Resident Evil kind of person that likes that franchise. If it ain't that from Capcom, I'm really not into it. So I just didn't care. I'm getting fucked up, ain't it, right? I only got 4 kills now. That's how I go sometimes with Big Mark. I don't play good all the time. I'm just a decent player, not a great player. Now, well, I walk right into this fuck nigga's bullets. Anywho, you see that shit? It's just like, I didn't understand. It's like, the gun is not... Wow. Anyway, I felt like going forward, these particular developers are holding their best games, not Ubisoft, because Ubisoft's on Microsoft's side, of course, but Capcom and Square Enix are holding those games, what they're going to show for real, for the PlayStation event. And a lot of people don't believe that. But that's the reason why they're going to wait until that event, and I will tell you. You know one thing that everybody should already know. Nintendo buys Nintendo games, and Microsoft people don't buy no games. They just don't. The community is too small and too insignificant. Yeah, they have a lot of personalities on what we call new television, YouTube. But as far as like gaming, it's not really a gamer's really a gaming thing. And I gotta keep it a buck. And I know a lot of people don't like that. But that's just the way it is.
Enemy spy plane inbound.
And it's nothing wrong with people liking the Xbox and Nintendo. I think it's fine. But for me, I'm a Sony dude. And I believe that, you know, for Spoken and Final Fantasy Remake 2 and Final Fantasy 16, you probably won't get Final Fantasy Remake Part 2 videos this year, but you definitely get something from 16 when Sony does their event. And they're definitely saving some stuff for that event, which is cool.
Enemy spy plane inbound.
There's definitely nothing wrong with that. So, E3 this year was a bust. Being honest, I guess if you like Nintendo stuff or you like Microsoft stuff, you were pretty good shape. But for me personally, I don't really, I'm not really a big fan of those sort of games that they put out. So basically, E3 was a bust for me personally.
Enemy chopper gunner established above. There's no winning this.
So it was a bust for me.
The operation was compromised.
Summer Games Fest, another embarrassment. Just like this gameplay I just had in this game, this shit was sad. It was very bad, very, very bad. I got fucked up. But I think honestly, we have to come to the conclusion that E3 is basically pointless. And there's no point for that show anymore. I had 7 fucking kills. That is god awful. What is wrong with me? So, yeah, something has to happen next year to really help make E3 viable. Because right now, it is not. It is very... It is looking less and less interesting for most people that like video games, E3. And that's not good for the industry. The industry needs a trade show event that shows off new things and introduces gaming to new people. This does not need to become a social reject only thing. Other people need to get into the game, and the gaming needs to grow. Now, I will say this also, that I don't like the way gaming is growing with the Fortnites of the world and shit like that. The shit is kind of kiddish and a few other issues that I'm not going to repeat to out here. But I'm just saying that I think, honestly, we have to really embrace the fact that gaming is growing. And those that game like myself should embrace that. We should not be wanting to keep people out of gaming. We should be welcoming more and more people into it. Now, to Sony. This year, Sony has released 3 bangers. Well, 4. Returnal, Ratchet and Clank, Guilty Gear, Final Fantasy Remake Part 2. There's rumors out there today that that's going to PC. I don't give a fuck. I played it first on PlayStation. I played it best on PlayStation. I don't give 2 shits about PC gaming. It is a platform without a soul. Anybody tell you it has one, they're lying to themselves, because anything in these games from other things has no soul. Give you for an example. The PC is chicken soup, right? Without the chicken. Needs to get somebody else chicken to make it possible for it to have anything. Oh Lord, I hate that. Them little some bitches are always going up that alley trying to shoot somebody. So anyway, as gaming grows, and like I said, with the Sony side of things, I'm really happy with what I did. The PlayStation is a great console, and I'm very happy with it. I'm very happy with it. Fuck, I didn't even know where this fuck nigga was even at. Anyway, I'm very happy with the PlayStation. Very happy with the console. Very happy with what the console can do. I really don't do the 4K Blu-ray thing. It's really not my thing. You know, I got all these streaming services like Netflix and whatnot. I know it's not really 4K. So, but still, I think it's pretty good to huh? This dude had a blue name. Did you see that? His name was Blue. But anyway, that's Call of Duty for you. But yeah, I think honestly, if you have a PlayStation, that's pretty much all you need. I do not care for Harmon Host or any kind of executive person like the Xbox community does. You know, they do a million circle jerk podcasts telling them about Phil Spencer and the greatness of Game Pass. I'm sorry, Game Pass is a service and it's not a game. But since they are into that, that is cool, and nobody, nobody can tell you that you're wrong on that. You can enjoy that if you want, and that's cool. For me personally, I'm just not into that. So I just I don't care. But for other people, you know, it is what it is. You know, one of my friends, Sharon, she's a big time Xbox person, and I still love her. You know, still a little sister. Even though I think Xbox is trash, and my gameplay right now is pretty trash too. This girl shot me, and she on my team. And I just feel like the other consoles, no, they got their own appeal to them. It just don't appeal to me. And you don't have to appeal to me. As long as you got what you like, that should be enough. For you as a person, you know what I'm saying? But for me personally, I'm not really interested in what the Xbox has to offer. And yes, that's a me problem. You know, it's a me problem. Oh, I blew myself up. God damn. These boys have fucked us up. Oh my God. Oh boy.
Helicopter inbound.
I don't even care anymore about this round, but I'm just saying that
Enemy sentry turret detected in your AO.
so yeah, it's all personal opinion. And it's my opinion that I don't care about the Xbox. And it's true, I don't.
Sitrep, napalm strike inbound.
You know?
Pull your socks up, lads. They're ahead.
So yeah, I mean, it is what it is. I'm not really playing, but yeah, I'm just saying that I think honestly, when it comes to gaming, we have to really think about the future and what we want that future to be. That future should be ownership of our games. It should be the
MI6 to your nearest CCP. They fucking had us.
it should be the future should be something better than what we're getting now. And if Microsoft can offer me better than what I'm getting from Sony, then I will never buy another Xbox console, which is pretty much where I'm at now. I don't care about it, and I'm not going to buy it. And it's pretty much where I'm at. Now, as far as E3 going forward, I think that was the last E3. I think people have seen enough. I've seen enough of my game plan right now, too. That shit was awful. I think E3 it has run its course. We don't have that fever. And I think, honestly, next year, it shouldn't be E3. I think everybody should have their own event to concentrate on what they need to have. I think these third parties should include themselves into different people events that they have deals with. And like they can just say, honestly, it's on PlayStation, Xbox, whatever it's on, and put that in there because there's no reason for everybody to have these stupid little shows. It doesn't make any sense. So I think really they should concentrate on that. Look at how this looks. This doesn't make any sense. I didn't know this would run at 120 hertz. Even at 1080p on a 60 hertz 4K panel. I guess this is the beauty of 4K. It does things that other things can't do. Now, let me stop this for a second. Now, let's talk about the fall. For me, the fall is Horizon Forbidden West. It is Far Cry 6. It's Call of Duty. It's Battlefield. And it's A Rise of Ash. That's it. That's 5 games for me for the fall. That's all I'm buying. Including the SSD expansion drive. I'm definitely getting that. Putting a whole another year of PlayStation Plus on there. You know, we're getting those things, right? Definitely, I'm getting the big boy editions of most of the games that's coming out. I'm definitely going to enjoy doing that. I am concentrating on this upcoming rest of this year. We're in the 6-month mark. You know, we got the Chicago Bears coming up this season with Justin Fields, and I can't wait for that to happen. So the fall's going to be pretty good here in Chicago. But back to the main topic at hand, gaming. What do we need to see for the future of the console market? Once again, I don't give two shits about the PC. Don't care about Nintendo. Don't care about Microsoft. I care about Sony. What I need for Sony to do is to concentrate on Last of Us Part 3. I want Sony to also concentrate on new IPs, make their own massive open world RPG with characters you make. And Sony has storytelling on their side. Nobody makes better stories in gaming today than PlayStation. And everybody and their mama knows this. Anybody saying otherwise is fucking lying to themselves. What should be the next step for, let's say, their gaming event? I think their gaming event should be at least an hour and 20 to an hour and 30 minutes long. I think Sony needs to put their cards on the table and say, you know what? Microsoft did it. We usually do it. They did what we do. Let us show you what we got cooking in the pipeline. You ain't got to show everything. Just show a lot. But if you want to have a 40-minute show, definitely bring Square Enix, bring Capcom to the party, because people want to see that Resident Evil 4 remake. People want to see Forspoken. People want to see if you got a little bit of the remake ready to show us of Final Fantasy VII Part 2. People want to see The Last of Us again. People want to see all this good stuff from Sony. Sony is gaming's culture today. Everybody wants a PlayStation. Nobody wants an Xbox. You know what I'm saying? You know, in fact, I can't do it. I want to play Sick Humor song so bad. Sick Humor is one of the best podcasters out there, telling the truth, keeping it straight, and speaking straight facts. Let me tell you about the best YouTubers that I've heard that don't do YouTube videos on a regular, right? Give you some good people. One of my favorites is Sick Humor TV, Persona, who's a bit of an asshole, but Persona is consistent, and I respect that about the brother. But he can be an asshole. Jay Barry is excellent. Craig Harris, the black man in the green chair. Hardy, who I don't agree with on everything, but he's a cool guy. The Weapon Wheel podcast lost their MVP player when they kicked him off, and as you can see, the podcast has gone downhill ever since then. Moving on, Ashley Lucas, pretty good with her podcast. She's very funny on her stuff. I enjoy her podcast. Now, when you ask me, do I listen to Xbox podcasts? Outside of the main ones, and then OBJ the Don. Oh, and King Thrash, the Round Table. That's a good nigga right there. Love their podcast with all the people that be in there with them. You know what I'm saying? Now, let's keep it a buck. If we want a future of gaming to be better, we have to speak our voices up. What has the PlayStation community done? They've spoken with their mouths, with their wallets, saying exactly how the fuck they feel. And on a global basis, the PlayStation brand is stronger than ever. Now, to the media, they don't like that. They think Xbox is going away. And I will be honest with the media, whether they like to admit it or not, Xbox is going away. They got 20 million subscribers to a service. Well, you know what? HBO Max has 31 million subscribers to their service, and people are saying they're losing money. You have to have at least 40 to 50 to 60 million people in a service paying more than $20 to show a profit. And that's one thing Microsoft has never done with the Xbox brand, whether they want to admit it or not. It has never been profitable for that company. And that's just the honest motherfucking God truth. Now, does that mean that it has no value? It has value. I met Swag and Sharon from Xbox. Does it have value for me beyond meeting them? No. Xbox to me is a throwaway product. It really is. I'm going to get some